He strutted into the office Monday morning like a man returning from war. Same smug grin, same forced laugh. Except now he had a story, his story, about the best seats at the Super Bowl. I watched him from my desk, coffee cooling in my hand. He didn't notice me. People like him never do until they need something. He slapped backs, laughed too loudly, waved his phone around showing photos from the game. My tickets. The ones I'd earned after 12 straight weekends of overtime. He'd said, "You should be grateful you have a job," when I confronted him, and I'd smiled, nodded like a fool, and said, "Enjoy the game." He thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. When I first met Andrew, he was charming in that fake boardroom way. Tailored suits, practiced humility, the kind of man who called everyone buddy to hide that he didn't know their names. He hired me 3 years ago after telling me, "You've got potential, kid. Stick close to me and you'll go far." And I did. Every late night, every client meeting, every presentation he tweaked just before sending it out, my work, his name. I told myself it was fine. That's how climbing the ladder works. You carry the weight so the person above you can stand taller. But the truth is, I didn't notice when respect turned into exploitation. Not until the project that broke me. 6 months, no weekends, barely any sleep. The client, a major sports brand, loved our campaign. So much they sent me 2 Super Bowl tickets. My name on the envelope. My email in the chain. My reward for endurance. The day before the game, Andrew accidentally intercepted the delivery. When I walked into his office, the tickets were on his desk. He didn't even try to hide them. "You should be grateful you have a job," he said, leaning back, voice soaked in arrogance. "These clients are mine. That means their gifts are mine too." My jaw tightened. I remember the exact taste of that moment. Metal and bile. I wanted to throw something, but I didn't. I smiled instead. Enjoy the game. And that's when Monday began to form in my head. I spent the weekend differently than he did. He was in luxury seats, sipping drinks I paid for in overtime hours. I was at home, replaying every interaction, every exploit, every time he humiliated someone in the name of leadership. I went through his calendar, his presentations, his upcoming meeting with the board. I already knew things he didn't, like how the client was reconsidering renewing their contract. I'd been copied accidentally on an internal thread. They wanted honesty in leadership moving forward. Transparency. 2 words Andrew never met. So I decided to introduce them. Step 1, the email. Late Sunday night, I drafted a detailed summary for the board. It outlined Andrew's handling of the project, his creative decisions, his innovations, his success. I attached every time-stamped file, every revision note, every proof of authorship, all mine. And then, in the quietest line of all, I added a link. A link to a social media post. Andrew, at the Super Bowl, tagging the client company, boasting about his tickets. They saw it. Of course they did. Step 2, the timing. I scheduled my email for 7:45 a.m. Monday, 10 minutes before the board meeting, 10 minutes before he'd walk in with his same rehearsed confidence. And then I waited. At 8:02 a.m., his laughter stopped. I was at my desk when the conference room door opened. The board members came out first, tight faces, low voices. Then Andrew, pale, phone in hand, eyes darting toward me like maybe I'd throw him a rope. I didn't. He disappeared into his office. The door stayed closed for an hour. Then HR walked in. 2 minutes later, they walked out with him. Box in hand, no goodbye. He passed my desk on the way out. Our eyes met for a fraction of a second. That was enough. The office was silent after he left, a vacuum of noise and fear and relief. People glanced at me like I'd performed a miracle, but I didn't say a word. I just turned back to my screen and started working. That afternoon, the board called me in. They wanted to thank me for my integrity, they said. Apparently, the client had praised my name specifically. They'd even offered extra seats for next year's game. I smiled politely. "I'll think about it," I said. Because truth be told, I don't even like football. It wasn't about the tickets. It never was. It was about watching him fall, the same way he made everyone else bow. It was about balance, and on that Monday morning, balance was finally restored. He found out who took his place, and I got ready to speak, because silence is powerful until it's not. Now, when I walk into that same office, I don't need to raise my voice. Everyone already knows what happens when someone tells me, "You should be grateful you have a job." They're right, I am, because now it's his old job I'm grateful for. And I make sure everyone knows. Gratitude, like respect.